And it's another week and another set of offers in GTA Online. And in a break from recent tradition, what I can say about these offers...
Yeah, not bad. Could be worse.
Yeah, finally, we've got something that's, you know, in the great British tradition, we can say is not too bad. And we start with this. So this is the Pegassi Torero XO. And this is an fabulous offer, absolutely fabulous offer. It's on 50% off. Now normally this will cost you a snip under 2.9 million. So at 50% off you are going to get this for 1.45 million, which is a huge discount, and it is a brilliant car. It's based on the Lamborghini Countach, the reimagined version from a few years ago, which already is one of the best looking cars in real life, and the way they put it together in the game is absolutely stunning. It's easily one of the best looking cars in the game, and it's also incredibly fast. But the one thing that kind of impresses me about this, but sometimes doesn't, is that they've kind of managed to capture the soul of what it's like to drive a Lamborghini with this car, and that's not always a good thing. So driving a Lamborghini, you're guaranteed a few things. You're guaranteed it'll be fast, you're guaranteed it'll have pretty shocking handling, and you're guaranteed it will be ridiculously wide. So where can I test it? Well, I originally looked to try and find some Italian tracks from JP, Quite the Rhino and Vortex, but there was a bit of a drought. So I've picked this one. There's a link for this in the description, and basically I picked this because it looks a little bit like Monza. And in some ways that's where more of the problems start, because it doesn't really get any better on the track. On the track it just doesn't feel at home. It understeers like mad. Yes, it's incredibly quick, but it understeers like mad, and the handling, whilst it does have a fair amount of downforce, it certainly doesn't have enough to cope with the amount of power that it's got. So it's not that it's not fun to drive, it is quite challenging to drive. You do need to work for it. This isn't like the Grotti Omelette. You can't just jump in this and do a good lap. It's gonna make you earn it. But then again, I don't think the track is the natural habitat for this car, because when you look at how gorgeous it looks and those daft scissor doors, which actually are a little bit more like jazz hand doors than scissor doors, this isn't meant for racing. This isn't meant for tearing around. This is meant for cruising past the beach while the sun's going down and just looking gorgeous and being cool. And if that's what you want from a car, this is probably the best in the game to give you that sort of feeling, that feeling that you're in something that's just a little bit different, a little bit special. Now when it comes to actually using it for races, that's not saying you're not going to do particularly well in the races. All it means is you're just going to have to work a little bit harder, because the handling is certainly going to fight you a lot of the way. But one thing it does have in its armoury is its top speed. So let's just whiz over to the top speed test and have a look at what it manages to do. Here we are at the top speed test, and I don't think I'm going to have much time to say anything of interest about this, because this is a really quick car. It's one of the fastest of the non-HSW cars in the game, both in terms of acceleration and top speed, as you'll see in just a couple of seconds time, because we're just about to fly under the finish line, which is just under this sign near these silos. And let's have a look at what it did. 28 seconds to do a mile with an average speed of 124. Now for a non-HSW car, that's pretty damn quick. Now the only thing you have to factor against that is, while you are travelling that quick, you are going to be suffering from fairly horrendous understeer, and then at random times it'll throw in a little bit of oversteer just to make sure you're awake.
I'm awake, wait!
So as we come round here for the final section and on to the finish, what do I think of this? Well, this part of the lap is probably going to be this car's weakest point, because I've said the two things it really struggles with: top speed is fine, looks amazing. Handling, not amazing, and it does have quite a lot of understeer. You factor in that just like any real Lamborghini, this has a massive fat arse. It is ridiculously wide. That means it can be incredibly difficult to squeeze this thing through the gaps that you will be left as you're flying over these bridges and around the freeways. So that's what this last part of the lap is for. This is to test how manoeuvrable they are. And do you know what? I've got to admit, the game's being kind to me today. It's not throwing the garbage trucks on there because they're always the most difficult to get around. And it seems to be picking its way through this reasonably well, but like I say, it is being kind. Final thoughts, it's 50% off, it's gorgeous, it's an absolute bargain. If you've got the money, I would say this is an absolute must. Everyone should buy this. Especially considering that at 8 minutes 17, this has just knocked the Enos Paragon S, a brand new car, off of the top spot for the non-HSW cars. So, if you can cope with slightly sketchy handling, then I would say this is an absolute must for this week. It's a complete bargain, it's a gorgeous car, it's ridiculously quick. Absolutely go out and buy one and enjoy it. And I hope you enjoyed that video. Please, if you like this kind of stuff, do remember to like and subscribe and jump into the comments. So I'm always in my comments. I try to get back to you, as many of you as I can. So I look forward to seeing what you think about this, and I'll see you in the next one.